And I think you mentioned it in the notes and stuff like that, but about this idea that small towns are just one of those places that like is a great setting for these horrors because of how it just really puts that danger front and center.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of reasons why this one works. Well, I mean, from what I read anyway, Stephen King actually likes to use small towns because somebody one of his friends joked to him, like, if a vampire just turned up in New York, he'd probably get hit by a cab and that would be the end of that, and everybody would just go on living their lives.
Right.
But I mean, and that was the reason he sort of brought them back in Salem's Lot into a small town. And actually, if you think, there's this idea that in a small, remote town, suburb, there's more chance for something evil to take hold because it becomes more believable. And also, there's also the other element to that is that, and this is very true in it, is that the characters in it, specifically the children, are kind of trapped by circumstance. They've got to just move there. And a lot of them have abusive parents, or they're in situations they can't really control. So there's this idea of being sort of trapped remotely by the town, and also trapped by their circumstances as well, which was something I kind of found. The last one thing I wanted to mention about the difference between the structure of the movies and the TV is that one thing I really liked about the TV one is that you see the children's stories, and then what happens is you see them as an adult, and their reaction to being called, the amount of fear they feel as an adult actually heightens either your expectations or what you feel like those kids went through. And it kind of, if you noticed as you went through, it's almost like the experiences with Pennywise got worse and worse. And the reactions from the adults got worse and worse, to the point where you got Stan killing himself. And that's kind of like his experience was so bad. So I thought that was very clever. And I'm sure that follows the book more closely. But obviously I can understand why they couldn't do that with the movie, because, you can't have all of those actors and you'd have to try and create a 4-hour movie and get that approved. And I'm sure the studios probably wouldn't go for that. But
I felt like out of the two though, there's been over the course, tons of adaptations of Stephen King books over the years. I feel like with both the series and the movie remake, they did a really good job overall. Like, in other words, there's a lot of Stephen King novels that just don't translate well to the big or small screen. And these both have like kind of, besides like kind of the being very kind of, I don't know about accurate, but like kind of true to the story, but they also convey a lot of the combination, like, there's the horror elements, but the other part that like we haven't really talked about yet, but I definitely want to, is, to me, like, what I find interesting is the heart of the story is actually about childhood and growing up and the struggles of it. And that's something that, like, I think both really carry that, like it's just so much in the DNA of it that it's like kind of, to me, it's almost like where that's the core story. And then the horror is actually just like what they're facing as part of growing up, like as if the horrors of childhood aren't, tough enough, I guess. They have this kind of scary clown to deal with.